Quat. One injury turned us into strangers, now he's filing for divorce. Quat. To be honest, I am not really sure where to begin. In the past few months, it seems like everything I believed to be true about my life has come crashing down, and to be honest, I never saw it coming. Not as this. But now we are. I'm Lauren. I'm 36 years old, and I feel as though I'm trapped in a nightmare from which I can't escape. For the past 14 years, Ryan and I have been married. Liam, our 9-year-old son, and Sophie, our 7-year-old daughter, are our 2 children. I had believed our marriage to be rather strong. Yes, we had our arguments just like everyone else, but who doesn't? I accepted the fact that it wasn't flawless as a fact of life. We made it work. Then, in a moment, everything changed. Ryan went to work one evening as normal. He has been a mechanic at the same business for years, and despite the fact that he always worked hard, completed his tasks, and returned home exhausted, he never voiced any complaints. To be honest, I appreciated that aspect of him. But it wasn't until he was harmed that I realized how much that work was keeping us together. I received that call on a typical Thursday. I was attempting to tidy up the house before supper with the kids when the phone rang. It was the medical facility. My heart instantly fell to my stomach. I was informed that Ryan had been involved in an accident at work. They said it wasn't meant to be that horrible. Only a little crushed. However, what I saw when I arrived was unbelievable. As though he had slept in days, Ryan was sitting in a hospital bed with a pale face. He may never be able to walk pain-free again, the doctor added, because he had shattered a couple of vertebrae and had a rather serious injury to his back. I was unsure of how to feel at the time. My shock had not gone away. I recall wondering how this could have happened as I stared at Ryan. He was constantly so cautious. At all times. Here he was, however, damaged and incapable of his former activities. Of course, I tried to be encouraging. However, I must admit that it didn't take me long to begin investigating. Ryan was unable to continue working. Suddenly, I was in a situation I never would have imagined myself in as the costs began to mount. We were subsisting on my meager freelancing income and his savings. But we were unable to keep up. I felt as though everything was collapsing around me and I was unable to maintain my composure. I'm not very good with money, I'll admit that. It has never been. I was always the stay-at-home wife, taking care of the kids, cooking, and cleaning the house. I believed that to be sufficient. However, when Ryan was unemployed, everything began to fall apart. I would spend money without giving it any thought. Tiny things that didn't seem like a huge deal at the time, like new clothes for me or tiny items for the kids, but now, I am unable to stop them now that they are all stacking up. I recall sitting in the living room with Ryan one evening after the kids had gone to bed. In addition to my feeling worn out from all the tension, he already appeared worn out from the painkillers. He remarked to me, Quat, if you don't start taking this seriously, Lauren, re going to lose everything, Quat. My face reddened. I was, of course, taking it seriously. I was unaware of the pressure he was facing. Before, he had always taken care of everything. But now I was expected to bear it all, and I was failing miserably. I was unable to tell him that, though. I didn't want to acknowledge that I was completely inexperienced. I just murmured, Quat, I'm trying, Ryan, Quat, and nodded instead. Really, I am. In my heart, though, I didn't believe I was. I was unsure of how. Being the one who looked after the house gave me a sense of entitlement that had always been with me. It must have escaped me how much it relied on him, how helpful he was to us. Now, I found myself standing in the midst of a mess that I couldn't see how to get rid of. Ryan quickly began to back away. In the beginning, it was subtle. The simplest things, like me failing to discover the best grocery store bargains or forgetting to pay a bill, small things that were much simpler when we were both helping, would irritate him. One day, when I wasn't so preoccupied with trying to solve everything myself, he stated it. He informed me that he couldn't continue in this manner and that he didn't want to continue to bring me down. At first, I didn't grasp it. What was he trying to achieve by pulling me down? It was him, not me, who was injured. However, as he continued to talk, I became more aware that he was holding me responsible for the tension. He was accusing me of causing everything to collapse. To be honest, I was nepos, expecting that. I was nepos, prepared to be held accountable for any of it. In my mind, I was nepos, the issue. After all, I was only attempting to survive each day. However, it was painful the way he spoke to me and looked at me as if I were nepos, doing enough. And I began to doubt our entire connection more and more as he retreated. How did we get from being a couple that shared dinnertime laughter to this? Even though they share a house, the two strangers seldom ever communicate. After Ryan recovered, I kept telling myself that things will improve and return to normal. But I had a gut feeling it would nepos, It had altered too much. I canopus, even pinpoint the exact moment when our gap widened. Ryan is now discussing divorce, though. I oppose, am not sure what to do. I have a part that believes he pose, just acting theatrical, that he pose, sad, that he pose, unhappy, and that everything is simply getting to him. However, I also question if he pose, correct. I might not be suited for this. I oppose, am afraid, but I oppose, am not sure what will happen. Is my time being wasted, or should I keep trying? I did nepos, think it would get this far. Ryan and I have experienced a lot, after all. Even though things haven't oppose, always been easy, wepas, they survived. That oppose, what I thought anyhow. These days, it seems like every debate is driving us more away. Wepas, both simply so worn out. I oppose, admit that I can sense my own deterioration. I feel as like I want to make things better, but I oppose, am not really sure how to start. While Ryan has been lying in bed, hardly able to move, I have just tried to keep anything together. However, I have never been good at this or the serious stuff. I was the impulsive, fun one all the time. I make rash decisions, buy inappropriate stuff, and join up for things without giving them any thought. We may have arrived here for that reason. I simply donopus, know how to make everything right when everything goes wrong. Ryan may have assumed that I could manage everything, but I am incapable of doing so. I oppose, am not sure how to stretch the funds. How to get us out of this hole is beyond me. What oppose, the worst part. I oppose, am sick and tired of acting like nothing is wrong. Wepas, get through this. I oppose, am sick of telling everyone, even though I oppose, am drowning in my own skin. For example, Ryan is not only physically harmed, but also in ways that I am not even sure how to address. I may not care enough to repair it, which may be the reason. God doesn't oppose, it sound terrible? It oppose, the truth, though. I oppose, am not even sure whether I can continue, as much as I oppose, like to say. I am unsure about my strength for this. Previously, I believed I was, but now I oppose, am just unsure. Even in the same room as me, Ryan has seemed aloof. He seems to have checked out already. He seems to have lost interest in being here. I oppose, am not sure if I blame him, to be honest. I simply take it for granted that he has been so patient with me throughout the years. His actions were not appreciated by me until it was too late. Furthermore, I do have my own problems. I oppose, am positive that I do. Avoiding the difficult, expensive, and mature things has always been my tendency. But now everything is falling apart, and I oppose, am the only one left with the bag. I canopus, stop thinking about the happy times. Everything appeared to be so simple when we first met. My rock was him. I respected him for having everything under control. He was always the one in charge, had a reliable job, and was capable of fixing everything. I oppose, am expected to pick up the pieces now, but I oppose, am unable to do so. I oppose, they never been proficient at it, and I oppose, am not sure how to begin right now. A part of me must be furious. I oppose, am upset with him because he damaged me and made me feel like I was to blame for everything. I oppose, am mad with myself for failing to predict this. The other part of me, though, is afraid. I oppose, am afraid of being alone and of losing him, even though I know in my heart that I oppose, they already lost him. We frequently discuss the children. We rely on Liam and Sophie to keep us together when all else fails. Even though they have no idea what oppose is going on, I can sense the grief in their eyes when they recognize that something is wrong. I oppose, am meant to shield them from this chaos, but the Yapos, re-trapped in the middle of it, and the Yapos, reaccustomed to having two parents who love each other. However, how can I defend them if I am unable to defend myself? Ryan Appos, S eyes can be filled with disappointment at times, and I can't help but worry if I am the one who has let him down. Even if he claims he doesn't blame me, how is it possible? I certainly did ask to be the one who has to mend everything, and he did ask to get hurt or lose everything. But now that Ryan has started discussing divorce more and more, it seems as like he has already decided, and to be honest, I am not sure I can hold that against him. Even I have been aloof. I don't want to lose him, and I don't want to be the wife I said I would be, or the one that keeps things together like I should have. I am unsure of how to resolve this, but I cannot allow it to collapse. I haven't decided to give up yet. Looking back, I don't want to be the one wondering where it all went wrong. Given all of my mistakes, I am not sure whether he will ever forgive me. However, I am open to trying. I am not sure what will happen next. Even how to put things right is beyond me. I am aware of one thing, though. I am not prepared to bid you go. It was until it was too late that I suppose I truly understood what was occurring. However, I still had a part of me that would accept it. I kept hoping that we would overcome everything, that things would become less stressful, and that Ryan and I would reunite as we once did. That, however, did not occur. It was Thursday evening. As usual, Ryan was seated in the living room, where he gazed at the television without actually watching it. This time it was different, but I could still sense the fatigue in his expression. He was just empty, he was neither furious nor unhappy. He told me something I was prepared to hear that evening. I am done, he said to Lauren. He spoke so softly that it seemed like he was even speaking. I can no longer do this. I can't continue to act as though everything is alright when it not. You they given up on us, and I can't handle this on my own. A chilly wave struck my chest. My stomach fell. Everything I wanted to yell, plead, or explain, as well as everything I thought I could say, just caught in my throat. I went cold. Ryan went on, his eyes lifeless, his voice aloof. Even though I don't want to, I can't continue to worry about us when you not even making an effort. You have hardly acknowledged the months of physical and emotional suffering they endured. Lauren, not the same now, and I doubt we ever will be. I wanted to shake him and apologize for whatever inconvenience I may have caused. I also wanted to scream and weep. The fact is, though, I was no longer certain that I could solve it. I doubted my ability to make things better. He got slowly to his feet. Because of the weight of his injuries, everything he did appeared to be difficult. When he shouted the words that broke me, he did even flinch, even though I watched him wince as he stood. Lauren, I am filing for divorce. I felt like those words were like glass piercing me at that very time. My breathing was difficult. I had no idea what to say. My thoughts were hazy. I was told it was over by the man I had been with for more than 10 years and who was also the father of my children. I couldn't stop the tears from falling. Please, I pleaded. I did, but he was finished. He and I both had nothing left to offer. I sensed that we were separated by years of conflict, lost chances, and errors that hung over us like a cloud that neither of us could get rid of. We were broken by the injury in the end. Everything that followed was it. How I withdrew. The way I assumed that everything would be resolved on its own. The method only after Ryan was gone did I truly see what he needed. I would like to claim that I stood up for him. I wish I could claim to have put more effort into making it function. Actually, though, I did I couldn't I was unsure of how. 2 days later, Ryan left the life we had created together, taking a few belongings with him. I recalled thinking that this was actually occurring as I stood in the doorway and watched him go. He had been let down by me. We had been let down by me. A few months later, the divorce was completed. All of the memories, promises, and happy moments we had created were suddenly reduced to a few sheets of paper. It was more painful than I had anticipated. I was surprised by how heavy the empty space in my chest felt. However, I am alone myself here. Trying to put the pieces of a life I never imagined losing back together. Where I go from here is a mystery to me. I am not sure what will happen next. However, I LL never be the same, that much is certain. And the feeling of seeing the guy the first loved go, leaving me with nothing but the rubble of my own errors, is something I will always remember. Ryan was not mistaken. I did nepos, stand up for him. It oppose, too late now, too.